Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, it is an honor to speak with you about the Astavakra Gita. This ancient scripture is profound and often challenging to understand. Could you begin by explaining its core message? Jai Gurudev, the Astavakra Gita is a unique and remarkable scripture. It goes straight to the heart of non duality, the idea that there is no separation between the individual self and the universal self. At its core, it teaches us that our true nature is beyond the mind, beyond the body, and beyond the ego. The essence of its message is that we are pure consciousness, ever free and ever blissful. You mentioned that our true nature is beyond the mind and ego. How does one begin to experience this in daily life? Experiencing the true nature starts with recognizing the transient nature of thoughts and emotions. The Ashtavakra Gita encourages us to observe the mind without getting entangled in its contents. It is about shifting from being caught up in the drama of the mind to becoming a witness. Regular practices such as meditation and self inquiry can help us connect with the space of silence within, where we begin to sense our true self. The Ashtavakra Gita often emphasizes the idea of witnessing. Can you elaborate on the practice of witnessing? Witnessing is the act of observing without judgment or attachment. Imagine watching a movie. You see the scenes unfold, but you know you are separate from the movie. Similarly, in life, thoughts, emotions, and sensations are like scenes in a movie. The practice of witnessing involves recognizing that you are not these transient experiences, but the consciousness in which they arise and subside. That sounds liberating yet challenging. How can one deal with the pain or resistance that comes up during this process? Pain and resistance are natural aspects of the ego's dissolution. The mind does not want to lose its identity or control. When love or deep surrender happens, the ego feels threatened, leading to a sense of discomfort or pain. This is often why love and surrender are accompanied by feelings of vulnerability or even conflict. Recognizing this process can help us stay compassionate towards ourselves and others as we navigate these challenges. You spoke about love and surrender. How do these concepts relate to the teachings of the Ashtavakra Gita? Love and surrender are integral to dissolving the ego and realizing our true nature. In love, especially deep unconditional love, the boundaries of the self start to blur, leading to a sense of unity with the other. Surrender is the acceptance of what is without resistance. In the context of the Ashtavakra Gita, surrender means letting go of the false identification with the ego and embracing our true self as pure consciousness. How does the Ashtavakra Gita address the duality that we experience in our lives? Duality is the perception that we are separate from others and the world around us. This perception is the root of all suffering. The Ashtavakra Gita teaches that duality is an illusion created by the mind. In reality, there is no separation. Recognizing this non-dual nature of reality dissolves the sense of otherness, leading to profound peace and freedom. When the mind merges with the universal mind, the illusion of duality fades away, revealing the oneness of existence. Gurudev, in the earlier discussion, you emphasized the importance of witnessing and surrender. How can one cultivate the ability to witness effectively, especially when facing intense emotions or thoughts? Cultivating the ability to witness requires regular practice and patience. Begin with small steps. When an intense emotion or thought arises, take a moment to pause and breathe deeply. This simple act creates a space between you and the emotion. Next, observe the emotion without labeling it as good or bad. Just notice its presence over time. This practice helps you disidentify from the emotion, allowing you to witness it as a passing phenomenon rather than becoming entangled in it. You mentioned that the ego resists surrender because it wants to assert its existence. How does the Ashtavakra Gita guide us in dealing with this resistance? The Ashtavakra Gita teaches us to see through the illusion of the ego. The ego thrives on identification with roles, achievements, and possessions. To deal with its resistance, we must continually remind ourselves of our true identity as pure consciousness. This is done by practicing self inquiry, asking, "Who am I?" and recognizing that we are not the body, mind, or ego. The ego's resistance lessens as we deepen our understanding of our true nature and experience the joy and freedom of being beyond the ego. How does one balance the practical responsibilities of daily life while following the teachings of the Ashtavakra Gita, which emphasizes detachment? Balancing practical responsibilities with natural teachings, spiritual teachings, is about cultivating a sense of inner detachment while actively engaging in life. Detachment does not mean renouncing responsibilities but performing them with awareness. and without attachment to the outcomes. This attitude allows you to remain centered and peaceful regardless of the external circumstances. The Astavakra Gita guides us to act from a place of inner stability where we fulfill our duties with love and awareness without being swayed by the results. The concept of non duality can be abstract for many. Could you provide a simple analogy to help people grasp this idea? A useful analogy of non duality is the ocean and its waves. Imagine the ocean as a universal consciousness and the waves as individual beings. Each wave appears distinct and separate, but it is, in essence, part of the ocean. The differences between the waves are superficial. Their true nature is the same as the ocean. Similarly, we may appear as separate individuals, but in reality, we are all expressions of the same universal consciousness. Understanding this helps dissolve the illusion of separateness. How does the practice of meditation fit into the teachings of the Astavakra Gita? Meditation is integral to experiencing the teachings of the Astavakra Gita. It helps quiet the mind and transcend the ego, allowing us to access our true nature. In meditation, we move beyond the surface level of thoughts and emotions to the stillness of pure awareness. This practice aligns perfectly with the Gita's emphasis on realizing a non dual nature. Through regular meditation, we cultivate the ability to witness, detach from the ego, and experience the oneness that the Astavakra Gita speaks of. In the context of relationships, how can the principles of the Astavakra Gita help us improve our interactions with others? The principles of the Astavakra Gita can profoundly transform our relationships by encouraging us to see the divine in everyone. When we recognize that each person is an expression of the same universal consciousness, we naturally cultivate compassion, empathy, and respect. This perspective helps us move beyond judgments and conflicts, fostering deeper and more harmonious connections. By practicing witnessing and non attachment in relationships, we can love unconditionally and interact with others from a place of genuine understanding and acceptance. The Gita often speaks about the illusion of the mind. How can one recognize and move beyond this illusion? Recognizing the illusion of the mind involves observing how it creates stories and identities based on past experiences and future projections. The mind's narratives often trap us in cycles of desire, fear, and attachment. To move beyond this illusion, we must anchor ourselves in the present moment where the mind's influence diminishes. Practice such as mindfulness and meditation help us see through the mind's constructs and connect with the timeless essence of our being. By living more in the present, we break free from the mind's illusions and experience the reality of our true nature. What role does self inquiry play in the teachings of the Astavakra Gita? Self inquiry is a powerful tool in the teachings of the Astavakra Gita. It involves questioning the nature of the self by asking, "Who am I?" This process helps dismantle false identifications with the body, mind, and ego, leading to the realization of our true nature as pure consciousness. Self inquiry is not about intellectual analysis, but about directly experiencing the essence of who we are. Regular practice of self inquiry deepens our understanding and helps us live in alignment with the truth of non duality. Gurudev, you have beautifully elucidated the profound wisdom of the Astavakra Gita. As we conclude, what final message would you like to share with those seeking to understand and apply these teachings in their lives? My final message is to approach the teachings of the Astavakra Gita with an open heart and a spirit of exploration. Don't get caught up in trying to intellectually grasp every concept. Instead, let the wisdom of the text resonate within you and guide you towards a deeper experience of your true self. Be patient with yourself as you practice and remember that the journey is as important as the destination. Embrace the joy of discovering your true nature and let that inner joy illuminate every aspect of your life. Thank you, Gurudev, for your profound insights and guidance on the Astavakra Gita. Your wisdom is truly inspiring. It is my joy to share this wisdom. May you all walk this path with lightness and grace, discovering the boundless freedom and bliss that is your true essence. Jai Gurudev.